Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hi everyone, happy Sunday. It is a bank holiday Sunday here in the UK, which is always a fantastic feeling because you wake up, you know it's Sunday. Normally Sundays are tainted because you got to get up and go to work next day, but not tomorrow. So going to be relaxing, going out and about with the dogs, might go down to Camber Sands because our dogs love charging around. For those of you outside the UK is not known for having sandy beaches, but there are a few areas in the UK that have been blessed with such. This one is probably about nearly a 2-hour drive from where I live, but totally worth it. Just pure sand dunes for miles and miles and miles. So I'll be taking lots of photographs and I'll be sharing them with you next week. So, as I mentioned in my last video, Omid has said that Meghan and Harry are about to start their new era of visibility. Yes, honestly, but I can't understand how Omid can actually say that because I have seen more of Harry and Meghan since they stepped down from being members of the royal family than what I did when they were supposed to be working members of the royal family. Obviously, Omid has been back in the newspapers quite frequently because it's the build-up of Finding Freedom again being re-released. Yes, once wasn't enough. Now we're going to be treated of a re-release of the book with lots of extras. Lucky us. The book is being released on the 31st of August, which happens to be the anniversary of Diana's untimely death. I think that's a bit distasteful personally, but you know, Harry and Meghan have got nothing to do with the book. But anyway, upon this news of this being their new era of visibility, like we haven't seen them lots, I decided to give you guys a little bit of a rehash of just how much we've seen them in just little over a year. Let's start with July 2020. We had the Girl Up Leadership Zoom call. We had the Queen's Commonwealth Trust where Harry and Meghan did a joint video where they insulted the Queen's life work yet again by trying to talk about how it's a racist institution and how we needed to change it. And just generally being disrespectful over a position that they were given, again, a gift by the Queen, and they've just decided to trash it. Then we had another video from Harry, obviously to do with his Sensible charity, and this was, I think, the last time that they were spotted at the back of Tyler Perry's mansion. Then we had the dentist paparazzi shot, which has now been twisted in Omid's book to say this was actually a doctor's checkup for Meghan after she lost their second child. But what always bugs me with this, and I will bring it up, how did anyone know, one, that was Harry and Meghan, that they would be there at the precise moment to catch them walking out of this place? Now, don't get me if I'm wrong, these are rich people, right? And if they're going to a private doctor's appointment or something like that, there'll be a back entrance to the place, wouldn't there? There would be places that they can go and have absolute privacy from all the LA paparazzi. August 2020. We had another Queen's Commonwealth Trust where yet again they were stirring up the racism. We had the photo shoots of them helping out at the baby to baby drive, taking photographs with people's children. There were pictures of Meghan with her hair up, but that shot didn't quite work, so then they did it with Meghan with her hair down. We had Harry with Rising Phoenix. Yes, we had him where he'd apparently snuck over to the UK, couldn't actually come over and visit his father or his grandparents, but he snuck over to do a segment for this new documentary that was aired. Then we had Meghan, Gloria Steinem, yes, giving the feminist speech. Remember people, Meghan likes to be linked and not ranked. Yes, Duchess, of course you do. Then we had Meghan again, the 19th represents, someone that she used to apparently go to college with, talking about feminism, racial injustice, all the usual words that Meghan likes to come out with. We were also treated to When All Women Vote. September 2020, we had the Netflix announcement. Yes, the multi-million-pound megawatt deal, of which they have actually yet to do anything. Then we had Harry and Meghan, a prince of the United Kingdom who has just left one palace to move into a multi-million-pound mansion, preaching to the American public who they should vote for. Needless to say, this did not go down well with the Americans, especially when Harry started bashing one of their amendments. Way to make fans, Harry. We had Meghan pop up on America's Got Talent. Yes, she was there supporting a singer called Archie. Yes, so the newspapers ran with that. But yeah, Meghan doesn't want to be a celebrity, sure. We had smart work Zoom calls. We had Fortune Most Powerful Women Next Generation. We had the flower planting. Yes, again, this caused lots of issues because parents at this time were unable to drop their children or go visit their children in nursery school, which is a very, very trying time for a lot of children and parents. Yet Harry and Meghan could walk into the school and have a photo shoot with complete strangers' children, regardless of the worldwide pandemic that was going on. We had Meghan again, Fortune's most powerful. She started babbling on about creating humane tech and obviously going on about the misinformation that she herself likes to spread. October 2020, we had Day of the Girl with Malala. We had podcasts with teen mental health. We had the Evening Standard interview, Harry and Meghan talking about structural racism. We were then treated to Times 100 global crisis of hate. Yes, Harry is really pushing this narrative. Then we had Harry again talking to marathon runners because they had to move the actual marathon because of the worldwide bug that was going on, and it was a virtual one. So we were treated to Harry sitting on the floor in a playground looking like a 5-year-old talking to a bunch of marathon runners. We also had the Archewell launch, which no one actually knew what Archewell was going to do, and we still don't. Aside from asking for people to donate to them so they can then take their cut and then they can donate to who they choose, they don't really do a lot. We had pap shots at Lee's Steakhouse, where they went to meet Catherine McPhee and David Foster, yes, Harry's new dad that had taken him under his wing, and we've never really seen them with them since. Then the world was gifted another black and white artsy photograph of the couple. This was an aid of Times 100. Neither of the couple were actually nominated, nor did they win, or were they even in a shortlist for Times 100, but they were actually hosting the virtual event. November 2020, we had the really bad tasting cemetery photo shoot. This did not go down well. Harry and Meghan traipsing across the graves of US war veterans. Especially as they reportedly shut down the actual cemetery so they could have this photo shoot that was done with a fashion photographer. Yes, every single solemn pose that you see is staged and choreographed. That's not offensive at all. And funny enough, I say funny enough, not ha-ha funny, but that month, Meghan decided to release her very in-depth and personal story about how she lost their second child. Is that because they were getting such bad press that she decided to share such a momentum, emotional and intensely private moment in very intimate details? Harry's also turned up volunteering. According to Omid, he managed to stay for an entire 4 hours to help the Compton veterans. What a trooper. Harry appeared on Stand Up for Heroes, which is a comedy event that's done to raise money for US veterans again. Harry was stood there in his little blue suit showing off his little 3 medals. And not to be outdone by Meghan, Harry appeared on Strictly Come Dancing to cheer on JJ Chalmers, one of his former friends that he left behind in the UK. December 2020, we had the Spotify deal announcement. We had the very, very cheesy Christmas card for a couple that want to hide Archie away from the world, why they felt the world needed to have another Christmas card of the 3 of them, which happens to be the weirdest, most un-Christmassy Christmas card I think I've ever seen in my life. We had Well Child Zooms. We had the Clever Blends launch. Yes, Oprah, Meghan's buddy at the time, gave Meghan a leg up with a startup company that she'd invested in and helped launch it on her Instagram account. Meghan then also appeared on the bench for CNN Heroes, where they were thanking all of the people that are helping in the worldwide bug. Meghan, I've never really liked this. She looked weird. She just looked so she was reading off the teleprompter quite clearly. What made it worse, she matched her lipstick, her eyeshadow to her shirt, to the purple flowers behind her. It was done, it was like it was filmed through some sort of Vaseline covered lens, and then she had a fan basically blowing wispy bits of her hair across her face. It was cheesy as. We then had our first taster of the wonderful podcast that they intended to do for their multi-million-pound contract to Spotify, yet it seems it was their first and last one. We also had Harry appear on the sofa by himself on the rare occasions, telling us that we're all raindrops. He did a segment for launching, I think it's supposed to be a rival to Netflix, which is very weird, but for Water Bear. Yep, Harry started babbling on about how we're all raindrops and how we can all help save the planet. This is the same Harry that recently caught a private jet to his polo game. January 21, Martin Luther King Day. They donated meals and they got the charity, and Meghan did a nice handwritten note to be read out. Harry, Fast Company magazine interview. He wanted to be part of the human experience and not the human experiment. Archie's birth certificate got changed. Whether that was news that was actually released by Meghan's camp or just generally the public finding out that it had changed, the fact that Meghan felt the need to release through her PR company and friends that it was actually the palace that forced her to take her name off her child's birth certificate. I'm finding that hard to believe, but it was getting ready for the build-up of the big Oprah Let's Attack the Royal Family interview. Harry paired up with Scott Morrison, the Australian's PM, for the Peak Fortum mental health programme. February 2021, Black History Month. They crashed a poetry Zoom class. We had the pregnancy announcement, a nice artistic black and white picture. Meghan lying on the ground with Harry stroking her hair. Harry down to earth has, just call me H, all barefoot with dirty feet. We had the James Corden bus. Yes, Harry got to ride around drinking tea on the top of an open top tour bus. He went to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's place, making a big old funny joke. Isn't Harry so much fun? We also had the perfectly fake time phone call with a very, very camera-ready Meg. They appeared on a sofa with Meghan wearing a lemon dress and Harry looking like he'd been sucking lemons all day for Stream On, which is something to do with Spotify, I guess talking about future things that they'll be doing. Yet again, waiting to see anything from Harry and Meghan on that front. March 2021, Oprah. Well, didn't we have weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of articles and videos on that show? I did a couple of videos myself dissecting some of the mistruths, but we were saturated and mainly disgusted and bamboozled with the amount of lies that they told. I cannot still believe that Oprah has not said anything or said that she is absolutely disgusted at how much stuff Harry and Meghan told her, which has been completely debunked. We had International Women's Day. Then we got another pregnancy picture here, clearly taken by the same photographer on the same day, Harry wearing the same exact clothes, the sun shining on the same tree. You can tell by the shadows, the length of the grass. It was done at the same time. But why, oh why, did she feel the need to release the second picture a month later? Was that just in case we might forget that she was pregnant? We had People magazine, yes, Meghan's favourite magazine. They did an exclusive of catching the very private Prince Harry on the beach playing with the dog. They managed to get full facial shots, a very, very clear view. These pictures are not grainy like they're done with a massive telephoto lens and they're being all intrusive. No, I think Harry knew they were there and I think Harry posed for those pictures. The same as Harry got caught doing a bike ride round LA. Yes, he was being escorted by a security vehicle, another big gas-guzzling vehicle, as he rode his bike around. But yet to see Archie on the back of that bike, which he told Oprah he was so desperate to do because he couldn't do that in his own childhood. April. Sadly, Prince Philip passed. There's nothing cheerful, and I'm not making jokes about this, but Meghan did still manage to get herself in the headlines by declaring which wreath was hers, and she also explained about all of the individual flowers that were picked and why. We were also told that she'd be watching it at home, like it was watching some sort of tennis match. So yes, she's used Prince Philip's funeral for a PR stunt. May 2021. We had the release of The Bench. Yes, Meghan's award-winning Pulitzer Prize. Nah, just kidding. Awful children's book. It didn't sell very well. It got completely panned as nothing more than a vanity project. But I think we all guessed it was going to be. Any sort of points and awards that book had was because it was treated as a children's picture book. So the pictures were okay, but the drivelling poem that she put in there, not so much. We had Prince Harry live on stage for Vax Live, and Meghan not to be left out. She appeared yet again sitting on a bench in a red dress, telling the world leaders what they need to do yet again, like anyone's really listening to her. They bought 200 hats for Archie's birthday to go to a charity. Again, we all had to know about every single donation they've made. The world was also treated to another photograph of Archie in aid of his birthday. To be honest with you, this photo is so depressing for a child's photograph, and it actually looks like the picture that when you buy a frame comes free with it. American Mother's Day, we were told that Meghan was donating diapers with Procter & Gamble because they'd signed a deal with them. This again came under scrutiny because Procter & Gamble do promote skin whitening cream. Meghan did an open letter to the CEOs of all of the vaccine companies demanding that they give away the patent for free. On top of this, they also asked for $5 donations to be made to Archewell to go towards supplying vaccines to poorer countries in the world to honour Archie's birthday. We had Dax Shepard, we had the podcast. Literally weeks after poor Prince Philip had just been buried, we had the slagging off of his dad, the Queen, Philip's parenting skills. We then had the Me You Can't See, his second depressing show that he did with Oprah. Harry doing weird and wonderful therapy live on TV because of the privacy-loving, camera-shy prince that he is. We had a building announcement that Archewell was going to help build a community relief centre in India. Haven't actually started building works yet, but they're just letting us know that at some point they're going to. We had an interview again with Good Morning America, Harry and Oprah. The new best buddies were back again talking about Harry's hard life that he's had, which again was not going down very well with all the American audiences. Harry appeared on yet another video talking about a new mental health campaign for mental fitness for an organisation called Peak State. In June, we had Lilibet's birth. We had the scandal over the names. Did they tell the Queen? Did they ask the Queen? No, they didn't ask the Queen, did they? Prince Harry took the time to announce that the 2023 Invictus Games will be held in Germany. We had another video from Harry to do with the Diana Awards, building up to the unveiling of his mother's statue. July. On top of the Diana unveiling the statue, we had weeks and weeks of articles about how Harry was mistreated. People ignored Harry. Poor Harry, who seemed to be either on something or just on a completely different level when he was there unveiling the statue. William was looking solemn. Harry seemed to be giggling the entire time and playing the fool, which he seems to have got very accustomed to doing. Harry's memoirs announcement, yes, he's being paid millions and millions of pounds, which he has said that he is going to donate the proceeds of the sale. Wishful thinking there, Harry. Yes, Harry is going to attack his family again and be paid for it. Let's hope that the Penguin publishers have got millions left in the bank because the Queen is now lawyered up, as I said in another video, and she is going to be going through this book with a fine-tooth comb. Harry, whilst he was over visiting the UK oh so briefly, took time to go to the World Child Awards to visit a lot of the children and their families. Reports did come out that his behaviour actually wasn't that nice when people dared to question him over the birth of his latest child. Apparently, Harry got the ump and stormed off and ignored certain people. Not very nice behaviour. We were also treated to the announcement that Netflix has got their first programme in works. Meghan has teamed up with David Furnish to do an animated series on a young 12-year-old girl called Pearl. And funny enough, the name Meghan is actually derived from the Greek word for pearl, and it's to do with a young, no doubt biracial girl based on Meghan, who is going to travel through time and meet influential women through history. August! Meghan did her 40-40 piss take of the Queen. Let's be honest, Melissa McCarthy dressed up in a flowery dress like the Queen does, drinking tea. It was about as funny as having a verruca removed, in my opinion. The whole thing was just completely contrived and set up. It was embarrassing, Harry playing with his balls outside the window. The 40x40 initiative seemed to actually flop, and by I think even the first couple of weeks, Meghan didn't actually have even 40 women that were willing to work on this idea of hers that she copied from the Obamas and actually the Nelson Mandela Foundation. Then we had the Archewell announcement over them being speechless. They were so speechless, weren't they, that they wrote a big essay. And in the past week, we have had proclamations of donations that they have forwarded on behalf of Archewell. Yeah, not their own cash, again, I'd like to point out, but other people's cash that they've donated, and then they then donate to who they want by doing big announcement, hear ye, Meghan and Harry have donated to charity. As I said, so much for the era of invisibility. We have been saturated with them. This is just what they have done, let alone the media that is obsessed with them as well, whether you love them, whether you love to hate them. They are in the papers every day. We've got friends speaking out for them. We've got Omid speaking out for him. We've got Thomas Markle appearing, trying to get in contact with them. We've got articles day in, day out of what Meghan eats, what Archie eats. Archie's going to school, the pap shot of Archie going to school, which she hasn't sued
food over, funnily enough. We're told that Meghan's doing Reiki, Harry's flying helicopters at a private club, Harry's off playing polo. We are literally oversaturated with this couple. So what worries me the most with Omid saying that they're just about to start their new period of visibility, what is the next year going to bring? Yes, right now I've got Tubular Bells from The Exorcist playing in my brain. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I hope you have a lovely bank holiday weekend, those of you that celebrate it. If not, happy Sunday, happy Monday to all of you guys everywhere else in the world. So take care for now, and I will be back and I will be looking into the new revelations of Finding Freedom. You lucky guys don't have to read it because I'll do it for you. Take care for now. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typist, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.